Yeah, but it was nice. We had omelette rice with ketchup. and Matt's lactose intolerant. I'm such a picky eater, and that I don't eat seafood and most vegetables. So I didn't have the heart to say no to some of the stuff. So I was eating stuff that I hadn't ever eaten before in my life. And yeah, but it was alright. She's got some gorgeous little Yorkshire Terriers, absolutely adorable. And yeah, so we left there. It was about 4 o'clock, and we drove up to Tyra, which is where Matt lives, up the mountain. Oh my god, it was the prettiest drive ever. We had to go the scenic route because the Johanna festival, because of the festival, Johanna was blocked off, and you have to go through Johanna to get to the fast road. Therefore, the scenic route, which took about 40 minutes. It's just straight through mountains. There's a road, there's trees, there's mountains, there's sky, there's water, there's waterfalls, there's bridges, amazing views, amazing. Next, get an SLR, he's quite into his photography. I'll pinch some of his pictures and let you see, because they are just, oh my god, it is just so pretty. Seriously, I just can't explain just how pretty it is. I mean, all around here is so pretty. It's just so scenic. I've got a feeling that all my photos from here are not going to be of people, it's going to be of places. Yeah. So we ended up, we went up to Tyra, we went to Matt's house to discover that he'd left his keys in his car and it was Twan that was driving. Well, there was 2 cars. There was Matt and Twan's car, and me, Nick and my car. Yeah, so he forgot his keys, so we could look in his windows at his apartment. But yeah, that was about it. But it was, oh wow, what a view. He is literally in a 1-street village, and the spiders. Up around his bit there's hundreds and hundreds of spiders, and they're massive. They're about that, like leg to leg, you know, the body's like here, but they're very colourful, which isn't very reassuring, because 9 times out of 10 colourful ones tend to be poisonous ones. I've got some pictures of them as well. So yeah, after that we were like, what do we do now? So it was only 10 minutes from his house to because his village is called Taira, but he's in Gokiyama. And Gokiyama is a World Heritage Site. It's very pretty. there's these, we went down to Suganomu Gasho, and it's these famous houses, basically little Swiss chalets. They're very famous because they've got, it's not grass, but it's like grass roof. And it's like highly sloped because there's that much snow, basically. So the house looks like that, sort of, yeah. And like my hand is like all sticks or something. It's not sticks, it's like, I looked at it closely, it's like hollow grass. I don't know, I'm struggling. Yeah, so we took some pictures of that, but the light was dying, so we didn't get as many as we'd like, so we're going to go back up at some point. But the houses are pretty cool. It's just such a pretty area. But yeah, so we left there, and then we're like, well, what do we do now? We need dinner. Well, we have dinner in Taira, in which case there's like 2 places, and one of them, which is the one we went to, does bear soba. Basically, soba noodles with bear meat. Yes, bear meat. So I had that. Well, I didn't. Nick and Twan did. But again, it's like beef. That was what they said it actually tasted like, but it's sliced very, very thinly. So it's probably like one bear they caught 20 years ago, and they've just been cutting slices off in the freezer. But yeah, so we stopped in at this place, we got some soba, and then we went down to Johanna, to the festival. very good. I've got a few clips of that I'll let you see. A lot of traditional dancing and getting it loudy, pretty much. Amazing costumes. There seems to be dance troupes all over the place because they were literally one on, one off. One off, one on, one off, one on. Constant. There was loads of little street stalls that did some great stuff. See if I'd had money. And I went daft. The food was a bit. They had this gorgeous temple there. I got 1 or 2 pictures, but nothing that shows you just how pretty it was. But yeah, so that was fun. And then we met up. We actually bumped into. It's amazing. It's so easy to tell ALTs because there's only white people, or there's the only foreigners in the area. So we've seen a foreigner and we looked a little bit more closely, and it turned out to be Elliot. Now we met him at the meeting in Anami last week or the week before, whenever it was, and it was the week before. So we met him and he was like, you know, I live in Johanna, so he says if you're bored, you know, just come, you know, just give us a phone and come round to my house. So that's what we did. We went round to his house, seen Salvador again, met another ALT, well, I think she is, yeah. Van, and then those other folk, and we just all camped out there. And then luckily Will was there. Will lives like just round the corner from me. So yeah, he was like, I was like, we're not quite sure how to get out of here, but it turned out by the time we left, because it was like 12:30, by the time we left, in fact it wasn't, it was past 1, but by the time we left, the roads was open, because they opened the road during the night. So yeah, just straight for Knees. Ditched the boys. Matt crashed at somebody's house, and I think next. Yeah. So late night. So slept in this morning. My first proper lie-in since I got here. And then we went to got a phone call this morning. Do you fancy going to Takaoka? So I was like, yeah, why not? So we found the big mall in Takaoka. Yeah, Aeon Mall. It's pretty nifty. There's a big Tower Records there. J-pop, the Japanese pop is for people with specific tastes. Yeah, so they like a lot of foreign music. So you can get pretty much anything that I could get back home. I mean, they had like, they had Katy Perry, do you know what I mean? So she's more or less just out. Prices are pretty much the same as back home. £15 for something brand new, or you know, a £5 for something that isn't. Yeah. So we spent some time in Tower Records. They did this little cool shop, and it said, what was it, Book and Everything Store? But it didn't look as if it sold any books. But when we got in, there was some books, but the rest of it was just junk, absolute crap, and it was great. I mean, everything from toilet seat covers, like comics printed on toilet roll. They're very obsessed with toilets over here. To Disney crap, like Lilo and Stitch slippers. It was just bizarre stuff. So that was good for a wander about. Found some clothes shops and sports shop, like shoe shops and stuff like that. So we finally got an idea of prices of like trainers and trousers and shirts and